Hi. We'd like to do an idea for you that was related to the H2O GATE Watergate Blues.
See how I fly like a catapulted penguin. Incredible a spectacle, a short time to get it in. I soar with grace and ease and luck. The ladies all love how I'm rocking the touch. Not giving a flying what the haters wanna be me. I'm flying right above them, but they can't even see me. Could've been that they didn't expect it, caught them off guard. Didn't think I'd go in so hard. We could ask Judge Wapner to preside on the verdict. He brings down the gavel as he shares what the word is. He said my style's invincible, your style's inadmissible. He stood and pointed at me, said, fuck with it. See, I'm terribly ill. Good to have you here. Time for another story and another beer. This week, it's New Belgium's Higher Plane IPA. It's another hazy imperial, normally means double, IPA. Let me see, what is this? It's from the Voodoo Ranger line. Yes, I know that. It is 8.5. So yeah, normal a double IPA. And as you can see, the art on the can on the front is quite Higher Plane-ish, with the lupulin flower bud there. New Belgium makes some really good beers. Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that pop? Did you hear that pop? That's a pop of... Oh, that is the pop of power. Let's watch that pour. Ooh, that is hazy. Can you get with that hazy? And by hazy, I mean, I know that it's technically at least semi-unfiltered. And yes, I know I'm pouring it in a Clown Shoes glass. But Clown Shoes, yes, they're from New England, but they make some good beers. But look at that color. That is a beautiful hazy IPA. And I know some of you IPA doubters out there, you know, like, ooh, IPAs are so gross, IPAs are so bitter, IPAs, but you'll defend the bloated feeling you have after 6, 12, 24, 30 Budweisers, Bud Lights, Bud Ices that you drink. And you know what? That's your prerogative. But as for me, the Higher Plane and beers like it are great in terms of flavor and body and just overall drinkability. And if you don't agree with me, that's okay. Again, welcome. And to this week, you'll get to hear my turkey story. And this one did traumatize me for a good long while. Till I was basically a young adult. Here's to making it. You'll find out exactly what I mean in short order. Oh wow, that is something, let me tell you. I can't quite explain it. It's hoppy, it's strong, it's powerful, and yet there's this wonderful, like there's a really great flavor and body about it. It doesn't have, it has a little bit of an aftertaste, but it just makes you want to drink it even more. It's like when a salsa is so good, but it's so hot that you have to keep dipping the next chip and putting it in your mouth so that you can, one, continue experiencing the awesome flavor of the salsa, and two, not feel your mouth on fire, although it may lead to slightly more dire consequences later. Anyways, as a young Californiano, first generation, as I've said before, we would go visit my grandma in TJ, aka Tijuana, not that far from where I presently live, and I loved it. I didn't know any better. I didn't have any idea that houses were supposed to be one way or another. So her bathroom that was outside the house and technically didn't have the little, handle to flush it, or a door that you turn the handle on to open it and close it and have security, like those weren't things that I processed. I lived life at my grandma's house as I needed to, as I was told to, and it was great, and I loved it. And there was nothing, there was no way to tell me that it was bad or whatever. And I love my grandma, and she had a nice little plot of land in one of the neighborhoods in Tijuana, and it wasn't necessarily huge or on fertile soil or whatever, but it was hers, and she maintained it, and she loved it, and she loved us. And whenever we would visit, she ensured every possibility to make that known and make it shown, and to make sure that I knew that and I felt it. Even if everything wasn't in absolute perfect working order, and that was fine. And again, we would know, walking in, what we needed to do to make sure that everything worked fine. Man, what is this? There's something about this beer that's just like, this must not be, it's New Belgium, yeah, sure, but it's got like a sweetness about it that it gets you. It must be like a certain type of hops that they use in it, because it just strikes the palate differently. It strikes your tongue differently. And again, this one might not be for you sissy tongued people out there, but it is great. It is great in just about every plane that you can say great. Great in flavor, great in body, great in strength. Anyways, this one time at my grandma's house, and again, I was still, this might have been in that same time, of my first time asking a girl out on a date, around that. And we get there, and we're having a great time at my grandma's house, and every time at my grandma's house was great. And so to give you some backstory, there was no plumbing outside of the main house, and the bathroom was outside of the main house. So if you needed to use the lavatory, you would go outside the main house. And let's just say that there wasn't any modern day ways of maintaining the bathroom or personal cleanliness. Let's just put it that way, okay? So, and again, there was no door handle to turn.
like there is in just about every bathroom today. And actually, now at my grandma's house there is, and it's different, and that's okay. But on this day in question, the the door to the bathroom, which it was a bathroom in the basest sense of the word, in that you would use it to, one, take a bath, and two, you know, dispose of whatever bodily functions you needed to. The door was it opened and closed, but you needed a hook and latch, and for whatever reason, the latch, this part, not this part, this part. Did you see that? Anyways, this part was gone. This part was gone. And so, 7, 8, 9, however old I was, year old me, I needed to go handle my business. And because, I was little, my grandma and or my mom said, hey, take your brother with you so that he can hold the door closed. The only reason he needed to hold the door closed wasn't because anybody would walk in on me. My grandma's house, she had a couple of extra rooms that she would rent out, make a little extra money, help somebody in need, whatever. It wasn't because of that. It was because she had a couple of turkeys that would roam the yard, for food later on, and a couple of chickens, and she didn't want them, wandering into the bathroom while I was in or whatever. And as a little kid, I didn't process that. I just knew that my brother had to come with me to make sure that the door stayed closed. Man, I know that every beer that I've reviewed so far I've said that is just so good. But really, these beers, this beer, hold on, there you go. That beer is, one, seasonal. So you're probably not going to find it until August, September time frame, if they make it again. And I don't know if they're going to make it again. You're not going to find it until then. But it really is so good. And I don't know if you've noticed, but every week I've brought 2 cans out with me. Just in case the story goes long. Just in case, I need another one to be able to keep telling the story and tell you more about the beer. Because, I haven't really planned out, plotted out, practiced, pardon my alliteration, how long these stories will go, or how long it'll take me to tell you how great these beers are. And yeah, I have no shame in terms of, the shirts that I've worn, the hats that I've worn. Everything's been on purpose, and that's okay. Anyways, this beer is great. And the flavor, it's, again, you can taste the hops, but there's something in the body that's just great, and it doesn't give you a really bad or like bitter aftertaste. Like the entire ride is great, and when you reach the end of every drink, it's like, wow, that was awesome. Where was I was going to the bathroom, and my brother was coming with me. Right. So I go to the bathroom, and my brother is holding the door. I think I'm 8 or 9, which would make my brother 6 or 7. Yeah, 6 or 7. It made my brother 6 or 7 years old. And I'm doing what I need to do, whatever. And my brother, out of nowhere, 30-ish seconds into it, decides that he's done hanging around, waiting forever for me to finish. And I'm just wondering what he's talking about. And I'm telling him to not leave because, the door won't hold shut without him holding it shut. And he leaves. My brother leaves. And when he leaves, the bathroom door is, it kind of just 6 or 7 inches. It doesn't, the bathroom where I'm in isn't bubble, as they say. So the door doesn't stay shut to discourage anyone or anything from coming in. Okay? So as he leaves, I'm screaming, I'm yelling for him to come back. And I'm saying, "Hey, I need you to come back. Where are you? What are you doing?" And I'm yelling my brother's name, and I'm yelling my brother's name, and I'm yelling my brother's name, and he doesn't come back. And all of a sudden, I take another drink. Again, I don't know. It doesn't say on the can what they use in here, but it is really just a great beer, and it's 8.5. And maybe I shouldn't have started my channel, my series, whatever, on all super high ABV percentage beers, but I that's just how it's fallen out. So yeah, I'm crying. I'm screaming, crying out for my brother, and he's nowhere to be found, and he doesn't come back. And so the door's hanging open 3-4 inches, and at this point, my bodily functions have just like seized up, halted, and I'm waiting for my brother to come back, to peek his head around the corner and be like, "Ha, I was playing with you, I'm back." But he doesn't. And out of nowhere, in the 3-4 inch crack in the door, a turkey pokes his head, and he says, out of all of the trauma that I might have, playingly said that I've been through, this is probably the first actual instance of psychological, physical, mental trauma that I have been through in my life. After this turkey poked its head through the door, cocked its head sideways at me, and gobbled at me, it then decided to come in the bathroom where I was attempting to finish my business, and then assault me, or attempt to. So at this point, I'm sitting and I'm fighting for not just my life, but my progeny's life. I'm fighting for every facet of my life. I'm fighting for the future of my family, for the future of my bloodline, for the future of my ability to alleviate myself as a man should. And you can take that as you please. And I'm screaming and I'm fighting and I'm kicking and I'm punching, and this turkey will not relent. It will not give up. And I'm screaming for what feels like an eternity. And I am filled with fear and fright. And I can't believe that this is happening to me. And I'm thinking about my brother who left me here just because he didn't want to hang around and wait and hold the door closed for me anymore. Oh, look, whatever shall I do? Oh, look, here's another one in my Golden State Warriors koozie. Look, Californiano, okay? But this, just about every beer that I will have isn't just from California, okay? I will drink good beers from anywhere and everywhere across the United States, around the world, really. Where was I? Right. I was screaming for my life. So I'm fighting, I'm kicking, I'm screaming, literally for my life, or what I believe is for my life, against this turkey who busted into this bathroom with me after my brother had left me. And I don't know, I really can't tell you how long I had been kicking and screaming and fighting against this turkey. What I can tell you is, at one point I thought it was going for what it believed was a worm. I'm fighting and kicking and screaming, and finally, suddenly, my grandmother, who wasn't exactly a woman of small stature or body composition, okay? So for her to have come and saved me, it was no small feat. And even if she was 50 or 60 or 70 feet away from where I was, for her to have come and done that is you hear that? He's enjoying my stories. It wasn't easy, okay? It wasn't easy, and to this day I cannot forget. I cannot be unthankful. I cannot give enough thanks to my grandma for what she did for me, for the example she set for me, and just for everything she did for me that day. And she comes in, she grabs the turkey by the neck, and she flings it out of the bathroom. I don't know if the turkey lived or not, okay? But she throws that turkey out of the bathroom, and I am sitting on the seat crying, and she hugs me, and she consoles me. And at this point, all my bodily functions are clenched up, frozen, solid, incapable for at least the next 6 to 8 hours. Not 68, 6 to 8 hours. And she's trying to console me. She's touching my face and telling me that it's okay and that she's here for me. And in my mind, I'm just thinking, oh man, when I catch my brother, I'm gonna pound his face into the ground. Even if I was 9 and my brother was 7, now I can't actually be mad at him because he had the attention span of a flea, you know, and had zero comprehension in terms of what it actually meant to hold the door closed for me while I was in the bathroom. Not that I would have had much more if the roles had been reversed, but my grandma, mi abuelita, she saved me, and that has, I you know what, I don't think, I'm quite positive I didn't have anything turkey related until I was at least 19, if not older. Okay? Yeah, that was a big one for me, for a turkey to come in and attempt to take what I didn't even know was my manhood at the time. It struck a fear I had not known in my life to that point. It was just, it was horrible for me, you know. But that was something that my grandma saved me from, and I can't express my love or appreciation for her enough. Like my abuelita, she set the standard for strength and for, you know, just like the example of what a caretaker, a lover of her children, of her grandchildren should be. And again, my grandmother, my abuelita, was not a thin woman. She was not somebody whose body composition, and you know, I'm dancing around the fact that she was rather obese, and I don't say that, you know, out of any lack of love, because I love her and I have loved her immensely, and I give her thanks for everything, for every moment that she has shown me. And I'm so thankful, and like, not for what I went through, but for her, and for everything she gave me, for everything she showed me, for every day that I spent with her. And really, like, if she could do that for me, if she could come and save me, being, you know, from her physical disposition, to come and save me, that was more than a lot. It was just, reflecting on it today, at this point in my life, it just makes me love her and miss her so much more. And I love my grandma, I love Tijuana, and there's nothing that could convince me otherwise. So get yourself some new Belgium Higher Plane to maybe help elevate your thinking for a moment, to reflect on the things that, you know, you've been through in your life. I'm not even going to say as a kid, in your life, and just enjoy it, you know. And maybe you'll start thinking about things when you were younger, a kid, whatever, and you really start to think about the goodness, the greatness of the people in your family. I don't know. Cheers from a higher plane.